This is the first trip of hopefully several for the celebration of my 40th birthday this year. And right now I am here in Sonoma County, California with my sister and my two best friends. And we are here having a Northern California winery tour trip. This video is going to show you the gorgeous landscapes of this area, explain what we're doing, what the Airbnb looks like that I'm sitting in right now. You'll get a tour of this very shortly. We'll explain to you where we're going, what I recommend and what I don't throughout the course of this video, but this is going to be a series of a 3-vlog genre. I'm considering this one the kind of grand overview of flying out, our trip here, if you're looking to come to this area, what wineries I recommend and why, what we're drinking, but then they also are going to get in part 2 a bariatric bestie video because I'm here with my sister. We are sharing this king size bed and I know that you love those Q&A videos, so I will post or have already posted by the time you're seeing this, a question and answer box here on YouTube, but also on Instagram so that she and I can sit down, have some wine, answer your questions. And the third video is going to be weight loss surgery specific about how did I fare with my VSG tummy 6 years later, almost 6 years after surgery, and all of this wine. If you're coming from the packing video, which I filmed last week, I did decide for today, which is our primary winery day, to go with the horse patterned dress. This is rented from Newly. It's from Anthropology. It is a little bit chilly. You are seated right here out front of the gorgeous backyard window. It's the only day that we are anticipated to get just a little bit of rain this morning. It will be in the low 60s, so I felt like the hat was appropriate. Also, girlies who travel with hats, like this is dedication. Packing a full-on hat, see, got a little like wonked in the packing area, but like this was dedication. And I am seriously considering leaving this here. I probably won't, but like I want to make room for the things that I've purchased. I've already purchased a candle, which you'll see because there's a grocery haul coming too. But I get to film this intro for you as our first morning wake up. There is a 3-hour time difference, so we were all up super early today, which I thought was kind of nice. I went outside in the dark. I did some yoga. I did some journaling, which you'll see those clips coming up. I want to put everything in like a chronological order so that way you can see how the week unfolds for us. But let's get into the video, shall we? We're gonna open with the room tour coming into this Airbnb, as well as what we did throughout the first evening. We are fresh off a 6-hour flight. We flew into San Francisco and then drove 2 hours, an hour and a half-ish, up to Sonoma. We're finally here. And before I was like, we're gonna do a house tour and I'll do it later. And then realized like, well, all of our stuff will be everywhere later, so we're gonna get this to you while it's fresh. So this is an Airbnb. I will leave the listing in the description box, so if you're interested in staying here, it definitely sleeps more people than we are. We are 4 people. It probably sleeps more than that with couches, but there are 3 bedrooms, so I'll show those to you. This is the living space when you walk in. We have this like little love seat over here. I really like the decor and how everything is like open and styled. This is a frame TV, and I know it's making those weird lights on the camera. I've never seen one in person before, so I'm excited to like play with that. There's really good sound. We have the get ready with me mirror. I think this is real. The outdoor space, it is not. The outdoor space is kind of what sets, I think, this apart. There's dining here. The kitchen is through here. Pardon our in and out cups. And I love this color. I feel like this would actually look really cute in my house if with open shelving, but there's so much pressure to make it look cute all the time. Through here, there's a laundry space with the garage, fridge, and pantry. And then of course, because we are in wine country, there has to be a wine cooler. All the things you need. I don't think we'll be doing a ton of cooking in this kitchen, but it is very pretty. And I know there's a popcorn maker and I'm excited about that. Also, I really like these. I really like those. I just like the detail of the open shelving, like being so creative. We're gonna do the outdoor space separately, and I wanna show that to you at night too. This is one of the bedrooms. I like the linens on these beds.
The bed's super comfortable.
Yeah, and I like how you can, like, the outdoor spaces here. I love the idea of the open closets, like you take the doors off and then you have a bureau, but then also the rod, like the linens are on here. Like, they're just really nice details. It's obviously meant to be a rental and set up for that. This room color is very calming. I like this bed frame too. It's very like West Elm. Bathroom. I like these products. This is nice. We have this guest closet that has towels. Everything's really nicely labeled. These are the hot tub towels because yes, we have a hot tub. Now this is Mallory and I's date room. There she is, bariatric bestie, where have you been? And we have a king size bed because we're snuggling. I really like the details in here. Oh my gosh, the wall art is a cork. I didn't notice that. And then more outside space up here is where the hot tub is. And we have this little garden-y area. And then the bathroom. We have our hers and hers sinks. See, I really like how this is set up with the open closet and the bureau. I still have to unpack quite a bit. Let's look at our bathroom. Oh my gosh. What a decor choice for these stones. I don't know if this is just like very California. I don't know. I kind of like it. It's like deco, art deco. Is that? So that is our house tour, and we are in a full-on like neighborhood of wine-based vacation rental homes. So there's all kinds of rules about like the quiet time and what you can do here, and the lights outside start dimming at 9 o'clock because they want you inside and quiet at 9:30. This isn't like a party space, but because we were here for our 40th birthday, I feel like that's absolutely perfect. So we're gonna unpack, change, and then head into the town and see what that's all about, because we saw a lot of farmland, which is beautiful, but I don't know what the town looks like. On our very first night in California, after we arrived, we checked into the Airbnb, had some time to kind of settle in and unpack, which is what I like to do when I immediately arrive into a space. We went to this beautiful champagne and wine bar called Scribe, right on the like Sonoma town main area, the street. My cousin Ashley found this place and it was perfection. I ended up ordering the premium flight, which had 3 different tastings of the best vintage within that champagne year. So I started with a Roederer Estate sparkling. I had my favorite, which is the Taittinger. Oh, that is always going to be my favorite, and ended with a Dom Perignon. It was chef's kiss. I spoiled myself a little bit because this was the premium cost to go with the premium flight, but I knew it when I saw it. I was like, this is the one for me, because there was also like a champagne flight for California varietals, and we're gonna get to taste some of those today, as well as a champagne flight for French varietals. So if you were here for multiple nights, you could honestly go back to that same bar and do all 3. We had a California cheese charcuterie plate, so all of the cheeses were like made locally. We had truffle chips. It came with almonds and some really good crackers. We just had a lovely entry in, and it was pretty casual. I wasn't sure what I should be wearing, so I went with my new white jeans that you saw in the packing video, and one of my favorite sweaters with some jewelry and accessories, and I think that was probably like right on par. All of the comments that you've been leaving are telling me like, Chelsea, California is really casual. Like I think I know that, but I also want to be true to my own style after taking so many years to find it after surgery. So I would highly recommend, if you love champagne like I do, and Sarah, if you're watching this, I know you do. There are girls out there who tell me in the comments like, we are champagne sisters, we are meant to be. Then I would absolutely recommend this particular champagne bar. It's called Scribe, again, S-I-G-H. It's really understated, it's small, but it's beautifully appointed. It's like if I had a champagne bar of my own, this is the vibe that I would want it to have. So it was an awesome start to the night. And then we went to Whole Foods. We weren't really sure if we were super hungry because we did stop to obviously have In-N-Out. When we arrived into San Francisco before our drive to Sonoma, this location is around an hour and a half, 2 hours north of San Francisco. So we had In-N-Out first and then drove here. So because we had that in the late afternoon and we were kind of off time-wise, we didn't want a full dinner. I still had leftovers from In-N-Out, which I was very grateful for, but everybody else was kind of hungry. So we placed an Instacart order for some basics, think like protein shakes, water, etc. And then we went to Whole Foods and kind of picked up the rest. So I do have a haul for you of my groceries, because what is 40 years old about if it's not expensive champagne and expensive groceries? This portion of the video is called When You're Almost 40 and You Go to a Champagne Bar and Then You Go to Whole Foods. Haul. That's what this is. It's a grocery haul. Water. Now we do have an Instacart order coming tomorrow with more water, but I felt like I needed some for tonight. This is my favorite flavor. And then a flavor I've never tried before. Ooh, getting wild. Cherry vanilla. We also got a few different bottles of wine because we are in wine country. One of the bottles is a vineyard that we're going to tomorrow. It's the Sparkling Wine Vineyard. And we had some, or some of us had some tonight after our amazing champagne bar experience. Like, why don't we have more of these? But we picked up this, not as fancy, but it is local to Sonoma. And it's a rosé, and I like the label. It kind of looks like a uterus. Right? Doesn't it? These came up on my TikTok. Chocolate chip brown butter cookies that you actually bake, and chocolate croissants that you bake for the morning. Excited about those. So we are in a house that has a juicer. So we found juicing oranges. What's the difference between a juicing orange and a regular orange? Any guesses? More juice. I don't know. But we also found blood oranges, and I think these would be awesome as mimosas. And I grabbed 3 lemons. We'll see how they compare to my lemon tree lemons. I also have some olives. This doesn't look exciting on its own, but Mallory picked up ingredients for a charcuterie board, so these will go on it. She doesn't like olives, unless they're black olives that could go on her fingers. That's true. And then I found some of these, okay, I found this candy. Made entirely of plants. And then these were in a section, they're called chocolates that help you digest dairy. So I grabbed 4 of them because I don't always digest dairy well. You know that ice cream and I are not friends. Eat 1 Happy Cow chocolate before diving into dairy and feel great. Do you think that works for wine? Unknown. And then the most exciting purchase of them all is this candle. It smells delightful. It's heirloom tomato, and it's cute. I want the whole collection. They had like lemon, and they had a mushroom one. I did not smell that one. I feel like, would that just make... You should smell this. I feel like this is a scent you would like. Oh. Yeah. But that's the Whole Foods haul. Welcome to 40. And today we are off to the wineries. So cheers, I will see you when we get there. we made it to winery number 2, and we walked. All of my pre-trip research, my Pinterest mood vision boards, and my intention setting for this trip, I don't think I knew I was going to love it this much. But I do want to share with you what we did over the course of the past several days. I am filming in the Airbnb in a new spot because right now we are sadly packing up to go. But I wanted to share what we did and what I would recommend if you are someone like me and you like the type of wine I like, or you like the type of aesthetic that I like, what I think you would enjoy best here in Sonoma. Now, we spent an entire day doing wine tastings, and based on everyone we've talked to here, that is like not a normal thing to do unless you are taking a wine tour. So there are trolley companies, like I think it's literally called the Sonoma Wine Trolley Tour, that we looked at in advance. They partner with like 200 to 300 local vineyards here, and you don't get a say in which wineries they take you to, which of the vineyards that you go to. You have to pay for the cost of the trolley because it's your designated driver for the day, right? So that was a little over $100. And then you still have to pay for the tasting fee when you arrive on site. So it felt a little bit like a gamble because there are so many Pinot Noir or red grape vineyards here, and I'm not really a red grape drinker. I'm not really a red wine drinker, though I had one yesterday that was fantastic. So I wanted to pick, control that. So we have visited a total of 4 different vineyards, which is a literal partial drop in the bucket of what's out here for offerings, and 2 champagne/craft cocktail bars. And if your thought right now is, Chels, this feels like a real alcohol forward trip. Yep. I wanted to be able to do all of Sonoma in the short period of time while we're here. And I think that what we saw was honestly the best that Sonoma has to offer. But let me take you through the wineries. We started our winery tour day at Vianza. I think I'm saying that right. I think I've pronounced it 13 different ways since we've been here, with our sommelier, David. Now, the weather on this day was a little bit chilly, definitely raining when we headed out initially, and overcast. But we arrived to this Tuscan-inspired Italian vista that was gorgeous, even with the rain. We had a guided wine tour. By that, I mean when the wines are presented to you on the tasting menu, you get a historical knowledge, a cultural context of where the grapes come from, whether they're local or imported. And I liked David a lot. He made us feel super at home, even though this was a new experience for all of the girls on this trip. And he would recommend like what you might eat or what you might be doing while you drink these wines. And I referred to one as a breakfast wine, and he called it a porch pounder, which I had never heard that phrase before, but it made me seem like these were wines that people do open early in the day because of their light, fresh bubbliness. But we had 2 wines here that I thought were fantastic, and he allowed us to swap out. So initially 2 were white, 2 were red. We tried 2 white and 1 red, and then we gave all of our red to one of the members of our party who likes it. And when he came back, he noticed that, and we were like, could we taste your rosé? And so he let us do that, and then he brought us a different white to try as well. So he was super accommodating, really friendly. He actually gave us a list of places to visit in Sonoma Square in the plaza here, places that we should eat or try drinking at, that kind of like the best of what locals do. So he was absolutely wonderful. We had a burrata here, We did end up ordering a bottle of the rosé to share among the 4 of us after the tasting was over. And we also had bruschetta. I would say the burrata was better than the bruschetta because it was so creamy and delicious, and the pesto was like clearly homemade. It was just a delightful experience. I ended up buying a bottle of wine to bring home because this particular vineyard, you can only get this wine. And I wish I knew how to pronounce it when I will like insert here the image of the bottle and the name of the wine. You can only get this at 3 vineyards in America. And he said that this tasting room is one of the only places that they can pour and you can sample it. So it was delicious and it was reasonably priced. So it is currently rolled in all of my clothes on the way home, and fingers crossed it doesn't break, not because I'm scared of ruining my clothes, it's a white wine, but because I want to drink it. So we booked a 90-minute tasting here, but quickly realized that was not going to be enough time. So we were there for definitely 2 hours, and then we walked to the next winery. One of the best parts, I think, of how close these vineyards are is that you can walk. We haven't seen a lot of people doing it, but it seemed silly to Uber 2 minutes down the road. So we ended up at the next place called Jacuzzi. And instead of doing a tasting here, we had pre-purchased a bottle of rosé to secure a spot at a table, and it came with a cake, which was supposed to be for my birthday, but the vendor actually didn't show up that day, so they comped the wine for us and we ended up getting a second bottle of Prosecco. And I will say I think that's the best Prosecco I've ever had. In retrospect, deeply wished that I had purchased a bottle of Prosecco. What was super cool about this gorgeous building, one, they had an olive oil tasting room next door, so I did end up consuming quite a bit of olive oil, and I bought one to bring home as a present for Mark. It's jalapeno, but they had this tower that you could walk up to see onto these landscapes. I don't know what I thought a winery would look like, but I am learning that they are these rolling fields with incredible backgrounds. If the winery wasn't beautiful enough, the mountains in the background or the palm trees in the background, like they'd feel like screensavers. Like these places don't feel real because they're just so beautiful. I liked at Jacuzzi the manicured lawn in the front. They had these topiaries that looked like wine bottles, and I just thought that was such a nice touch. They do offer a tasting room, but it's little off to the side and indoors. And while it was raining, the sun came out briefly for a moment in time, long enough for me to slosh my rosé down one of the vineyards while running and having a bell moment. But they let us, one of the indoor spaces, they have these gorgeous outside windows. It looks like the Great Room or the Great Hall in Harry Potter to me. And we sat at a table next to one of those windows. If you love Prosecco like I do, Jacuzzi is a must. I would say the rosé there is okay. It wasn't anything special. Whereas the rosé at Vianza was delightful. And then we headed to the final stop of the day, which was Gloria Ferrer. And Gloria Ferrer, I feel like you have to say it with such a fancy accent. Gloria Ferrer. This was supposed to be the, like, it was on everybody's top rated list. This is the sparkling grape region of Sonoma. You have to go here. Now, I will say that the tasting was very generous. Joey, our sommelier at Gloria Ferrer, really didn't know when to stop pouring. Like, he just kept pouring, and the wines were good. They were good. It felt corporate to me. Like, this vineyard, this winery had figured out how to maximize every dollar, and it felt like a game where if they ply you with enough tasting, that from there they can get you to join their membership. Like, they really were pushing their membership. If I were going to skip one, I'd skip that one. And I feel like that might be a hot take because it's on everybody's like top 10 most beautiful wineries in the world. It didn't do it for me. We did buy a bottle of Gloria Ferrer at Whole Foods, and we drank it here at the house, and it's lovely, but I just didn't love the experience the same way. While here in Sonoma, we also, of course, on a girls trip, had to visit a local spa and have some treatments done. So to early celebrate my 40th birthday, we went to the spa at MacArthur Place, and holy moly, this hotel is stunning. So it was a little bit chilly, but the pool is heated. There were 2 jacuzzis for us to use. I had something called the Sanctuary of Flowers, which was a 100-minute treatment. It is kind of their like top tier treatment because it's my birthday. It was one of the ways I wanted to treat myself on this trip. And it was a dried floral Himalayan salt body scrub with floral oils added to it. So that part takes 30 to 40 minutes to literally scrub every ounce of your skin. So I showed up to this trip with a spray tan and no longer have one because we did go in the hot tub. Every inch of my skin feels like ridiculously baby soft because of this scrub. Then you take a shower. During this treatment in the room, there is like a closed off bathroom shower area. And then it is like an hour plus long head to toe floral oil massage. Delightful. So we all had treatments. We had the opportunity to hang out in the jacuzzi. It was very relaxing. We felt like the only people there, which was nice. Everywhere we've been has not been crowded. And I know that's because we're here during rainy season, but really yesterday was like, or at least our middle day was perfect blue sky, 70-degree sunshine. We sat outside like 10 out of 10. It's a little overcast today, but still warm. And the way I look at it is like, I'm from the East Coast. It's currently snowing back home. So happy to be anywhere it's not negative degrees. We also, from the spa, headed to the first original Williams Sonoma, which is obviously here in Sonoma. And I wanted to see if they had any Sonoma-based bits that I couldn't get back home at like my local Williams Sonoma. And sadly they didn't, but it was still beautiful to go in and kind of see like the original first store. We spent most of the day yesterday at what I think might be one of my new top favorite places on this earth, at a wine vineyard called Scribe. Now, Scribe is not an easy place to find, nor is it to get reservations because it tends to be members only. But when we called to book, we said, listen, this is what we're coming for. We're celebrating a birthday. Would it be possible to visit? Because this was the place I had on my vision board. And holy moly, it did not disappoint. There are 2 locations when you pull into Scribe. One is called the Knoll and it's up on the top of this hill. It is where if you book a picnic at Scribe, that's where you would go. If you're doing a tasting, you would go to the Hacienda, which is where I wanted to be because that's like the picture I've had as my phone background on my vision board at what I look at every day. And it is just the landscaping with the citrus trees and the agave plants and jade, which smells incredible, feels so natural. Oh my gosh, it was just everything I wanted it to be. And we had 2 incredible servers yesterday, Aaron and Justin, who just made us feel so comfortable and at home. This was a more expensive tasting. So most of the other tastings range between like $20 to $30 per person. And then you get the 4 glasses or 4 tastings of wine, which are not the same as like a full 6 to 8 ounce pour, but that's a good thing. In addition, they have food that they source on site, like a farm to table winery. We had marinated olives, homegrown almonds. We had a salad, like a fennel salad with beets and this gorgeous dressing. I didn't really like the beets. Sorry, Dwight. I was not a beet girl. Oh, there was this tempura flash fried butternut squash. So good. There were just, they had homemade crusty bread and fresh apples cut up. Like it was this feast in addition to these incredible wines. And when I tell you that as someone who loves rosé, who believes that rosé and glitter run in my veins, I bought a case. Now I'm splitting the case, but if you bought 6 bottles, they would ship it for free. It's the best rosé I've ever had. And I know I'm gonna regret not buying a bottle or a case just for me. But wow, the service, the views, the food. I'm so glad we went because I felt like I was asking my friends to pay over $100 for one tasting that will last like 90 minutes to 2 hours. that we were taking a chunk out of one of our days to go to yet another vineyard instead of like exploring or shopping downtown, which we did get to do. But I felt like this really has to be worth it, and it was my favorite place. Of the 4 that we visited, it was my absolute favorite place. And in Sonoma Square, we did a little bit of poking around in the stores. We had dinner there one night. We went to Psy Champagne Bar one other night. We also yesterday visited Beacon, which is a speakeasy craft cocktail bar. The bartender was so cool. She made us gorgeous drinks, and then she made us sample these other little drinks. And then we had dinner at Girl and the Fig. Oh, the cheeseburger. I literally forgot about it until right this moment. My leftovers are in the fridge and my mouth just started watering. Mallory and I split a fig burger. It's not made of figs, but there's a fig bacon jam on top. And the quality of this cheeseburger, it's a smash patty, so it's not too thick. That's like I don't like a thick cheeseburger anymore, pro-surgery. 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10. Our server was incredible. And then when he asked if we were celebrating anything, and my friends were like, oh, we're here for her birthday trip, he brought us out a brown butter sugar chocolate chip cookie. That's a lot of adjectives. And he put it in a box with a candle in it and gave me a little birthday card. Like, just top tier customer service everywhere we went. So my recommendations if you're coming here are to definitely book time for the plaza, whether that's shopping, dining, you want to have some amazing cocktails or a delicious champagne flight. Sonoma Plaza is where it's at. It's absolutely beautiful. It is quite literally built as a square. City Hall is in the center. There are these like little water inserts into the grass, into the greenery. It's lovely. If you're looking for a spa experience, the spa at MacArthur, definitely. I'm not sure if I returned to Sonoma that I would give up a morning for that. And you know I love a spa, but I also feel like I have really beautiful, lovely spas at home. And if I could spend more time exploring, because we did go on a hike. I didn't even mention that to you. I went on a hike. That's going to be a part of my like 40 under 40 bariatric birthday successes. But I went on a hike and I loved it. And you could easily find more nature trails to do around this area. So I feel like it depends on how you want to spend your time. Good morning from our second full day, our last full day in Sonoma. Ashley and I, Ashley planned this beautiful sunrise hike on the Sonoma Overlook, which is like a 10-minute drive from the house and about a little over a mile. I've clocked it on my watch. 1.29. 1.29 miles, and it's allegedly an easy trail. I don't really hike. This, I would say, is my hiking foray, and I did find it easy, but I did breathe heavily because I'm used to doing like yoga and strength, and this was definitely more of a cardio workout. But it is so beautiful up here. We just saw this pair of like beautiful blackbirds, and we could hear their wing flaps. I don't know if we would say we caught the sunrise, though we did come up in the full dark with flashlights, but because the sunrise is coming like over in this direction, but it's blocked by nature, it's still very beautiful. But this is how we are starting the day, and then we have spa experiences later this morning, and maybe some shopping, and potentially one more winery, because you can never have too many. And then definitely do your research before coming, whether you want to visit random wineries that are all gonna be lovely, right? Like, I don't think there's any ones here that you're gonna be like, ugh, that was a miss, but there are some here that are gonna be prettier than others. Like Scribe is exactly what you would picture when picturing like a Spanish style, Pinterest, Instagram worthy winery. Oh, it was so beautiful. Stay tuned on social media. You're gonna see several weeks of the photos that were taken there because it's just so gorgeous. And if you are looking for a more like Italian at-home cozy vineyard, Vianza would be the one that I would recommend hands down. And for Prosecco, jacuzzi. Yes, skip Gloria, okay? You don't need her. And with that, I am off to San Francisco today to have a day on trolley cars, cable cars, chocolate, and probably more wine. Next week's video is going to be a bariatric bestie video with my sister Mallory. We're answering your questions while having some wine, so be subscribed for that. All right, my little jet setters, I will see you back on the East Coast. I love you. Thank you for watching, and please let me know in the comments, what should I be doing the next time I come here, because this can't be my only trip here. I just love it so much. If you are from this area, what did I miss? I can't wait to go in and out again. This has just been a magical trip. I love you. I will see you soon. Goodbye, my friends.